Hey guys, so we finally get a chance to dig into the legal side. Whenever two lawyers talk to each other, I really want to dig into those emails. And that's what we have here. So before we begin, the motion granting the joint stipulated request pursuant to extend the deadline has been accepted. The judge has said, yes, you guys need more time. We are going to extend the deadline from October 27th, which would just be, I think, next Monday, to November 3rd. We're going to give you an extra week to figure out how the move-ins would be H3Snark mods want to respond to the response by Ethan Klein. But yeah, let's go over the fun part. Here is the communication between Leia and Ram. Thank you for following up and thinking of ways for the subpoena to Reddit could potentially be limited. Unfortunately, however, I do not believe your proposal would be workable for us. I do appreciate your willingness to compromise. Very best, Leia. So they're beginning communications. We're going to go reverse chronologically. Following up on this point, in sum, I want to suggest to my clients to limit request 1516 in the Reddit subpoena to encompass moderators of H3Snark on January 31st, 2025 only. Currently, the request seeks information on moderators from January 1st to February 28th. If you agree, I will run the proposal past my client. Leia, I have been brainstorming ideas on how to potentially remove some of your clients from falling within the ambit of the subpoenas. The biggest question I have is whether all of your clients, and so there is definitely more than one of them, by the way, were moderators of H3Snark on January 31st, 2025. I still need to run this past my client. Hey, Rom, pleasure speaking with you. Thank you. I will be considering what we discussed. Very best, Leia. So they're trying to figure out, does Leia's client, and they actually do talk about a specific name here, Roman P, who is 9 of the 15, 16 moderators being discussed. He seems to be the name that they really want. Hi, Leia. As always, a pleasure speaking with you. As promised, I am confirming the extension to file the motion to quash on or before September 22nd, 2025. So we're going to see a very interesting dichotomy. So in addition to the lawyers talking to each other, which is always fun to see, we're going to see a interesting dichotomy where Reddit is concerned about the First Amendment and this court is not as concerned. I also appreciate you informing me that about the declarations of your clients and that you do not represent Roman P. This is very informative. I need to consult with Ethan and Illa, but I do not expect that it will be an issue for them not to refer to your clients and to do so under oath. Thank you for your response. You're right. I did not respond to your email about limiting the subpoena. I apologize. I missed that after the long weekend. I think your proposed limitations are fine. We will likely reference that we have agreed to this limitation in our motion. Regarding our mutual agreement not to discuss the other parties to address the concerning regarding harassment, my clients are also not Roman P and have no association with that person. How can that be, though? Is Roman P not a moderator? Don't the moderators talk to each other? They are able to provide you these assurances. However, they do not agree to have their identities being disclosed to plaintiff with Ethan and Illa, even under a protective order. I want to touch base about a few matters. Did you hear back from Discord after they received the letter? No, nor did they produce documents, so they are respecting the request. Have you been able to think about work on a stipulation narrowing the scope of documents requested to resolve the Stored Communications Act issue? Some type of harassment, yada yada. We saw that a scheduling conference had been set in the case, and they're blah blah blah. Conduct a conference for both cavernous and saber matters. We did not discuss specific deadlines this morning. I approached opposing counsel by requesting a continuance. So a lot of things are going on. at the same time. Remember, Casey Tron and Dennins, they have the same lawyer. Dennins is actually in the California, Los Angeles, which is the same court as Frogan. Frogan still no update as of today. A lot of interesting moving puzzle pieces moving at the same time. The subpoena shall not encompass communication between Reddit users. As to Reddit or Discord users, as to Discord that are protected by the Stored Communications Act, the phrase all documents and communications shall no longer require each document or communication in Reddit or Discord's possession, custody, or control that contains the personal identifying information. So remember, there's actually two different social media engines here. One of them is Reddit, and the other one is Discord, which we don't really talk about that much. I understand the concern. In event Discord complies, I will not review and notify you. So at one point in time, they got a hold of Reddit and Reddit's counsel, but they weren't able to get hold of Discord. So there was a concern that Discord would just send the information and that would be it. Hi, Rom. Since the letter asked them to hold responding in abeyance until any decision, that should be fine. I was just concerned about September 5th passing and Discord producing records immediately after. I probably shouldn't be worried about that given their lack of total lack of response, but just in case, if for some reason Discord does produce any records, anything other than objections before an order on the motion to quash, I assume you have no problem with segregating and not reviewing or disclosing the production. So yeah, that was a concern here. Reddit did respond. Discord did not. They still, to my knowledge, have not responded, nor do they care. So this is actually quite interesting from the perspective of if you want to get somebody anonymous, is it easier to go on Discord where they just won't say anything ever or reply back to you, or is it easier to go on Reddit where the legal counsel for Reddit will respond back to you? No issue with the 15th in the letter to Discord. I did not specify when you would file. The letter to Discord is fine, thank you. However, regarding last point in your email, could we make the motion to quash filing deadline September 15th and have that reflected in the letter to Discord? Our paralegal in charge of the case will be out September 12th. We agree on other points, including mutual extensions for opposition and reply if necessary. We'll also touch base. Leah and Jeff, also, as always, it's been a pleasure speaking with you both. Letter to Discord. So also you understand, like, when lawyers talk to each other, it is very professional and both lawyers are getting paid. This is their jobs. This is why sometimes it's better to have your lawyer talk to the opposing counsel's lawyer instead of you doing the discussion, because your emotions will get into it. But pause here. We pencil in the date of September 12th as the deadline for filing the motion to quash. Leah wishes to confirm with the rest of the team that this date works prior to locking this date down. We also agree that depending on the circumstance, we will give mutual extensions for the opposition and reply if necessary. The reply is necessary. I have not received anything from Discord. If the objection was sent in the mail, it may take a few days to arrive. I will inform them overnight mail that compliance is stayed pending resolution of the forthcoming motion to quash. Let's lock down Thursday. Thank you. I hope you are well also. Thank you for the update regarding Reddit and Discord. Have you received any objections from Discord? Next week to continue our meet and confer, how about Thursday, August 28th? We are free at 1:30 p.m. So Leah is not by herself. There seems to be at least a paralegal and maybe a senior partner on this. Hope you are both well. I just completed my meet and confer with Reddit. Reddit had two primary concerns: that there will be a First Amendment review of the subpoenas and the scope of compliance, primarily as to which users. It was my overall impression that Reddit does not want to get involved in this dispute. As the first concern, this has been addressed by your client's forthcoming motion to quash. Let's figure out a date and time that works to resume. So again, Reddit has responded to them, basically saying we do have First Amendment concerns, and even if you get a subpoena, we don't want to be involved in it. So you guys figure this out yourselves. So Reddit basically, so if the H3 mods win, and let's say the court rules on their behalf, Reddit is not going to turn anything over. If the H3 mods lose and the subpoena is sent to Reddit, they still have other concerns. They may or may not turn it over at that point in time, but it's likely they just simply don't want to get involved. Discord simply, I don't even think Discord has a legal counsel. Legal counsel of Discord. No one from Discord has replied back. And then there was that concern that maybe they would reply back because they didn't follow the case, right? But again, probably unlikely at this point in time. They still haven't, according to this email chain, Discord still has not replied back. So even if you subpoena Discord, lost an email, right? Thank you for the updates. Yes, we think it makes sense to postpone our meet and confer. Alternatively, if you think it would be more efficient, we could do a joint meeting, confer with us, you, and Reddit's counsel. That way, if a motion to compel Reddit is necessary, we can coordinate on the logistics of the compel quash motions. We'll leave that decision up to you. I wanted to keep you updated on material development and determine whether we should reschedule our meet and confer. As you know, yesterday was the deadline for Reddit and Discord to serve their objections to their respective subpoenas. Reddit served objections by email, which are attached. I did not receive any objections from Discord. However, it could have been served by mail. It turns out Discord doesn't give a damn at all. In light of this development, I wonder if it would be more productive to reschedule today's meet and confer until after I meet and confer with Reddit's counsel. I think it would be helpful for both of us to determine whether Reddit's issues can be resolved or whether a motion to compel is necessary. Correct. So even if the subpoena is issued, what if Reddit says no, right? Because that's still the next level. And what if Discord is just going rogue and they're just sending information left and right? They just don't give a damn, right? They're just like, hey, we don't want to deal with this. Two different groups. Very interesting exchange of emails. Very professional. It does look like there's other people helping Leia. It's not just Leia by herself. The Denins and Caseytron, their lawyers, their counsel, has inquired about the status of the subpoenas. I'm sure they're very interested on as well. I also provided links to your firm profiles. Additionally, I informed counsel that we conduct a meet and confer regarding the motion. Denins. So what Denins does is incredibly important for H3Snark mods because one of their biggest defenses that Denins did not commit copyright infringement is relying completely on what Denins is going to say. I want to make sure we're all on the same page regarding the motion to quash filing deadline with a September 5th compliance deadline for Reddit and Discord. Fascinating. And also, maybe it kind of explains Discord may be run by like a skeleton crew. They may not even have legal counsel to respond to these type of subpoenas or motions. So if Discord did not respond with objections, that means Discord does not have any objections. Reddit responds with objections. They had two of them. Who the users are going to be, so they're going to try to limit the amount of users, of course. And a First Amendment issue, which is new. That one I had not seen mentioned anywhere online, that Reddit would have that First Amendment issue, but it looks like they have one. And Discord is just kind of out on vacation. They haven't responded to anything, which makes them the wild card of it all, right? Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hi, guys.